But yeah, quite possibly. But if he really knew, I would expect him to see the problems. But also maybe he feels it would be or it could be resolved without putting Rakieta in jail. Yeah, the problem that a lot of people are having with this is that you have Barnes out there. I don't know how much Viva Frey is out there also doing this, but you have Barnes out there, and here we can just pull it up. Ba, ba, ba. So Barnes and Viva Frey. So Viva Frey on the left, Barnes on the right. Them talking about their analysis on stuff, and they think it's constitutional violations, even though stuff stuff has come out to show that it wasn't really a constitutional violation. Again, you have uncivil law Kurt sitting there saying like, no, look, he even breaks down Barnes's analysis and stuff and gives the counterpoints to it. Like he's really gone at them. And gives, the possibilities and the counter possibilities to stuff. But yeah, so this is kind of Team Nick, especially for lawyers. And then you also have uh good lord, I cannot type. It's because wait. Oh, let's go to Alyssa Clips. We'll bring up her channel. And then we're gonna search in here for EVS. EVS is Ethan Van Sciver. Ethan Van Sciver is a comic book artist that goes back to the Eric July stuff, but basically he got persecuted for a while online in regards to stuff with the Eric July shit, and it's a long, long story. But let's see, where is the one I'm looking for? This one. This is a recent statement, just to give you an idea of the EVS and Nick Rakietas Bandcamp and what they're saying.
This is actually going to be good for the kids.
It is.
Okay, in a way, it is. They're going to grow up to be
This is
stronger,
Ethan
more
over here.
self-reliant, as long as they can.
No. What's going to be good for the kids is that we take them away. We want CPS to come in and take the fucking kids away from.
There's something about the internet and the weirdos on the internet. Their biggest fantasy is they want Child Protective Services to take people's kids away, and they want to be the people who cause it. And I'm telling.
And I'm just going to go out and say this in case you haven't picked it up by what I've said. I don't want their kids fucking taken away. I want Nick and Rakietas to be fucking good parents. Again, I feel like when you sign up, and I mean this like obviously, as an analogy, so to speak, but when you sign up to have a kid, when you have a kid, planned, unplanned, otherwise, you're signing up for a semi-life sentence, and I mean that in the terms of the eyes of the law, right? You have most life sentences are 18 to 20 years. Expect to spend the next 18 to 20 years for each kid taking care of him. And in this case, they had 14 years left to serve on their most recent sentence before the kid's 18, and they could have done whatever the fuck they want. Now, granted, yeah, I get it. That would have meant Nick's going to be 55 years old. He's going to be an old man. Sorry about your luck, bud. But I am not one to where like blaming the kids, and I don't like how Ethan is blaming kids here. And I feel like he is. Like, I will go out on that limb and say he is blaming the kids here. He's not given any heed or any nuance to the situation. To where like, okay, understanding, yeah, these kids also had extracurricular activities. The oldest kid, that 16-year-old, he's roughly 2 years away from graduating, if not sooner, maybe a year. And in that case, he's trying to do these extracurriculars to look good on a college application, to go to college, to hopefully make a good career for himself, because I'm sure having rich parents, that's his goals, you know? He's probably got a college trust fund and shit. Hold on just a second. I want to read chat here. Oh, let's see. I mean to see what he's been talking about lately, because last time I seen Viva was around the Tucker protest. Okay. And then the stuff with Canada, yep. He wasn't recommended anymore, neither was. Okay. Yeah, from what I understand, Viva is on Team Barnes and Team EVS and spouting the same stuff, but I'm going to show specifically what EVS is saying, because I feel like he's the most egregious in what his statements are. I can't speak to saying that Viva is not saying stuff about the kids, but you know, again, people are misconstruing stuff. They're taking that one statement, again, to go back to all this, right? So what they're focusing their whole argument on is, where's the fucking statement? Right here. An anonymous person advised the pastor that at one point Nicholas Raketa and Kayla Raketa left with the Amoltes to go to a casino, leaving the children alone, putting the oldest son, who is born in blank year, in charge. The pastor was unsure if that was suitable or not. So the pastor is saying, I don't know what the law is. But in some cases, yeah, you know what? It's totally fine. He can watch his siblings regardless of the amount. Some states, it gives like constraints as far as like how many kids can be left in somebody's care under a certain age. And that's things that they're talking about here. They're just taking this information from the pastor and saying that this is another brick. And you know what? This might be the weakest brick in the wall to pop out. But it's not the only brick. Again, we're looking at the totality of all this stuff said here. Stuff that's said by people on record, stuff that's said by people anonymously, things from reputable sources, so to speak, you know, with the teachers and stuff like that. Things that are coming secondhand to a hearsay, so a hearsay of a hearsay. But then again, you've got things that are set up here that are then substantiated in this section, that are then substantiated in here, that fortify the stuff that they're saying up here. Like with the marks, like with the kids wanting, you know, being in the same clothes for multiple days on end. You know, these are all things that are fortified later. The house being messy and dirty, that's even noted. You know, and that's what they're doing, is basically taking all this stuff and they're putting it as, almost the way to think of it would be a checklist. Okay. So yeah, maybe they didn't check the box on this specific thing, but again, I'm not saying, and most people are not saying, that the kids should not be left with their oldest sibling to watch them while the parents go out to the casino. I've watched my brother while my parents went out to the casino. Literally the exact same situation. You know, and I've even done stuff overnight, woke up, cooked breakfast and stuff like that. But again, I was caring for one other sibling, A. B, it was not a perpetual thing. You have kids that were younger, that were not going to school, that are left in the house full time in that mess, that are left in the house full time. Who knows how long they're going with being changed, clothing wise, with being bathed, with food and stuff like that. So this is the stuff that, for whatever reason, this group of people is ignoring. So I'll play this really quick.
I'm telling you, I've seen a lot of this. Ask Umbrella Guy. You know, he'll tell you all about how weirdos on the internet worked and conspired and called Child Protective Services to have his kids taken away. You see it all the time. Like, they get off on it. The internet wants to really inflict havoc on the lives of people that they have weird, bizarre e-relationships with. What do they call it? E-relationships. So you don't listen to these people. Their first answer is please, let's have the kids taken away from the family. They love that, and so we must reject them and listen to me instead.
to say that kids become tougher through adversity isn't quote unquote blaming the kids. I don't think Ethan is doing that.
I'm
He's
blaming them too.
applying
You know what?
and
I wouldn't be
projecting his
surprised
own.
if the kids are the ones who got the cocaine. I would. You know what? Nobody's asking the right questions.
Are you serious? Are you listening to how fucking nuts this shit is?
It is quite possible that the kids are 100% responsible for this. It's always the last place you look. You know what I mean? But when there's a crime that goes on in a family, it's always best to like blame the person that's closest, because it usually is, right? It's usually someone who's really close to the family who's responsible for it. So, has anybody dusted the house for fingerprints? The audacity of EVS to promote responsibility in children. Unreal, blame the kids. Thank you. I agree. Tampa Detractor Android 33. Blame the kids first, man. Please.
Again, parents fall. They're not perfect. They're human beings, and sometimes they fuck up.
Listen,
royally.
Nina,
Just like
let me reiterate the problem here and make it all about me. You know, the edibles that I ate that made me call Friday Night Tight Zeros and get them and their panties all in a twist. Guess who gave me those? My kid. Okay? So
Yeah, and Belinda, I'm not saying that, look, like, I get it. The house can be disorderly, like, things happen. Like, not every situation is going to be ideal. But the thing for me with this is that they had the means, period. They had the means to even have people come in and clean the place. They didn't even have to do that themselves. They are well within the means to have somebody come in and clean even monthly, or bi-weekly. It's not a otherworldly expense for them, other than it's going to take money away from them not being able to indulge themselves. Again, it's I don't see a problem with, like, okay, the kid watching the kids for even overnight, one night. Like, I don't think that's unruly. I think that's well within, like, a 16-year-old should be able to handle that. But yeah, the sheer ridiculousness of the statements that are being made here, on top of the fact that, like, you know, it's not like they're impoverished in any way, shape, or form. Like, okay, I grew up with upper lower income for most of my life. Like, okay, we've had stuff where, like, my mom put meals together where she literally took the last scraps of stuff in the cupboard and put it together, and that was her dinner. Like, and then we had to wait until the next check or whatever because we didn't have food in the house. Like, I get it. But, like, this level of ignorance on Ethan's side is just as audacious as saying, like, the 16-year-old should be caring for the kids when the family is well within the means. Yeah, I would feel the same way. Like, I'd be very, like, concerned about, like, don't throw that away. Like, what if I need that? Like, I'm also that way. So I get you 100%, Belinda. Now I want this old man and Lio to get in a bar fight. Yelling. Well, great news. Ethan's gotten plenty of video of him, like, even leaving in a little bit of a intoxicated state, driving and stuff like that, and he thought that was totally fine to show on an IRL stream, apparently. Yeah.
So this
I
is
agree
why,
with you,
if I can
Ethan.
make everything about me once again and just compare it to my own personal experience, which makes people on the internet go crazy. They go, "It's not all about you, Ethan," and yet it is. Hunter is the one who, if I have a drug dealer in my life, it's Hunter. He's my kid.
Okay, but is your kid 6? Is your kid 12? Like, okay, again, I didn't grow up in the best of areas younger, okay? Like, I've been around things. But, like, to sit there and say, oh yeah, my 12-year-old is the middleman for my drug dealer or help get me the hookup, like, you realize, like, the audaciousness of what you're saying. And you, especially as a approximately 55 or older male, I'm guessing your kids probably in their 20s at the youngest.
Yeah, break.
Convicted. Other than having a third-hand knowledge of kids not being fed and clothed properly, which is not okay.
It's
Again,
fine.
I'm stating this is not okay. It's not ideal, people.
Oh, help me. My clothes are dirty. Go
These
do your laundry.
rumors that we've been hearing
Help me,
about
my
this
mom and
house,
dad.
these police reports,
Do your
whatever
laundry.
else that
Again, this would require involvement from the parents. These kids are not inherently going to know how to do this stuff. This is not the Stone Age where you're just going to go out and hunt and throw a spear at some wild game and then bring it back and figure out how to cook it and what tastes good and what doesn't taste good. We're a little beyond that, Ethan. Come on now, man. Like, these kids would at least have to be shown by the parents at least once how to do this. Okay, yeah, they could go and YouTube a video. Great. Again, we still are just ignoring the fact of the youngest kids that are left in this situation constantly. The two youngest. It's the older ones are getting out of the house, they're going to school and all that stuff, but it's the constant, like, again, what are you expecting a 6-year-old and I think it's 7 or 8-year-old to do? Like, they're not helpless, true, but their parents aren't doing shit to help them. Like, yeah, again, the stuff you're talking about, lower income households, yes, you figure shit out. I'm sure, yes, you could figure shit out through technology. But I find it laughable that you're thinking that, like, a 6-year-old should be going and cooking dinner for everybody. A 6-year-old should go and do the laundry for everybody. Think about what we're talking about. Like, when we hear Aaron talk that there's laundry literally left out of the laundry room around the corner and down the hall to the kitchen. You want the kid to do all that laundry? What about the stuff that the parents were too lazy to put away? Again, these are people that don't have full-time jobs, that are not working multiple shifts. They're not out of the house working. They're in the same house. They are there. They are present. They have a means to help their children and still indulge themselves. Learn that shit from the streets.
that we've been hearing is not okay.
I have a rumbly in
But
my
it's the
tumbly. There are
information we have.
Pop-Tarts in the cabinet.
This is all easily fixable.
Again, Ethan, are the parents getting the groceries? We have so much proof of them being hungry and dirty and not changed and whatever. Okay, cool. The kids should have changed themselves. Okay, cool. The kids should have bathed themselves. Even though, again, you're talking about the youngest kid. And then what? The siblings are supposed to shower and dress them every fucking night on top of taking care of themselves, on top of doing their homework. And then they're supposed to cook dinner. At what point do we say it's enough? And that the parents, again, a stay-at-home mother who did not have a job, period, and a stay-at-home streamer who streamed from like 11 o'clock at night till 2, 3 in the morning. Like, they're making their own hours. He's making his own hours. He could work and do shit whenever. Why is he and her not doing more for these kids? Again, they're not working third shift at a factory. They're not working multiple jobs. They're not barely getting by. There's a lot more situations that are way worse than anything even slightly comparable. This man has earned my income for a year in one stream. He is a trust fund adult. He has access to far greater wealth than most of us. He can literally go to the trust administrator and say, look, I need blah, blah, blah. He talked about on stream at one point, my next $10,000 purchase is going to be X. I have not the means or the ability to conceive having a next $10,000 purchase, let alone a normal $10,000 purchase. $10,000 for me, that'd be me sticking away and paying off bills that I'm already past due on. That would be me sticking away and maybe getting a down payment for a house, like in hopes that that plus money I would still have to save would be enough. This man already has all that. Thank you, Belinda. Yeah, they did stop caring. Like, and that's my thing, is just that it's different. Like, I can relate to, I remember my dad working overnights for a week a year because he would have to go and flush all the hydrants from winter to spring so that all the hydrants were okay, all the sprinklers and all this stuff, because he was a plumber on a military base. So he had to make sure, like, all that stuff would take care of the pools, shock the pools, do all this other stuff, do all the repairs for all the homes on base and everything. Like, this is all the shit, all the showers, all that. He did all of that shit. Okay, so he was gone. He had an hour commute each way. So he was gone a majority of my day for most of my life. And we barely got by. And I think it's audacious, truly fucking audacious, for a man that draws, and if I really want to be a fucking dick, a man who draws cartoons for a living and charges outrageous amounts of money to do so, to sit there and tell people how they should and should not raise their kids. You have a luxury job. You're not most people. Can we call them trust fund old farts? But they do tip well sometimes. In fact, do they at least tip well? Oh man, sorry to go off. Yeah, sorry, you called it. Yeah, I'm going off. But yeah, like this stuff is it's I don't like it. I don't like the fucking bullshit. Like, this is bullshit. This is some asshole who's sitting there getting paid to do this. Can we go back and look? Because yeah, right here. He just made $5 in 6 minutes of his video. Let's see how much he makes. $5. Does he make another donation? I'm going to scan it really quick. So even if he gets $5, say, oh, I'm sure he does more than that, but let's say $5 every 20 minutes. Okay? So he's getting, there's 4 20-minute groups in an hour, $20 an hour to sit there and tell people how to raise their fucking kids. Fuck this dude. Fuck him.
I'm stating this is not okay. It's not ideal, people.
Oh, help me. My clothes are dirty. Go
These
do your laundry.
rumors that we've been hearing
Help
about
me, my
this
mom
house,
and dad.
these police reports,
Do your
whatever
laundry.
else that we've been hearing is not okay.
I have a rumbly in
But
my
it's the
tumbly. There are
information we have.
Pop-Tarts in the cabinet.
This is all easily fixable
I'm
if Nick
busy
and
taking
Kayla get
cocaine
clean and
with
get
your
help,
mother.
which is what I've always maintained. Which is
And your
ultimately what
extra
people
mommy.
want, right?
You got a
Again,
mommy
I
and an
suggest
extra
people
mommy
watch
now.
the lead attorney's
It's
video.
about, hold on, let me pause this.
To
Once you realize that all of this is about a bunch of Nick Rakietas' enemies who want to take Nick Rakieta down, see, it's complicated because on the one hand, Nick Rakieta being involved in a swinging lifestyle is kind of gross, but I can't really be like, don't do that, because I don't really care where he puts his penis as long as it's okay with his wife, and even then I don't care. It's none of my business.
Nobody gives a shit about his sex life. He can be made fun of. He's a public figure just like you are. You fucking Santa Claus wannabe motherfucker. But guess what? All the other shit is what we don't like. Now, listen to me, okay? This motherfucker, again, is drinking on stream. I'm just going to work with me on this. He starts his stream at 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock at night, my time. So I know how long he goes for. And he'll go for 3 hours 2 to 3 hours, right? And he drinks heavily. He's drinking 4 to 5 glasses at 2 to 3 fingers of whiskey in that time. That's roughly 20 to 30 shots. Okay? And then if we're lucky, he then goes on and does an hour's local stream after. So now we're talking probably about 4 to 5 hours regularly a night. And then so he's getting done at what? 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. And is he going to sleep for, even if he goes to sleep for 2 hours? Because again, the kids have got to go to school, right? They're not walking to school. They're being taken to school, per their words. So then, according to him, in some cases, they're saying that the grandparents are the ones, even bringing the kids to school. So they're not even fucking with it enough to be a fucking solid parent to even bring their kid to school, along with not feeding them, not changing them, not showering them, and not doing all this other shit and leaving them in a fucking filthy goddamn mansion. It's a filthy fucking mansion. Let's call it what it is. So if he is doing this stuff, he's getting roughly 2 hours of sleep, 3 hours of sleep on a good night, and then getting up, probably while still drunk, and driving his kids to school. You don't think that's putting him at risk? You don't think that's not even... Take the fucking kids out of the situation, okay? He's putting other people at risk that have nothing to do with him. And people have said that when he's shown up, he's been drunk and shit. Like, oh my God, this man has fucking failed his kids. He failed the kids. He should have had a fucking vasectomy at 23 and called it good. I don't know what else to say. Like, again, if this was a person who was working, even like a really goddamn physical fucking job, and I'm talking about like warehouse work, steel facility, nurse, any of that shit, where it's physically, mentally demanding, you're going to drain every bit of your batteries. Any of that shit. I come from even some retail background to say, like, I wouldn't even consider retail, because retail can be mentally stressing without being very physically stressing. I'm talking about full encompassing, drain the shit out of you work. I worked as an auto mechanic. I know that shit. We're trying to figure fucking problem after fucking problem out. Plus, you're doing shit that's literally beating the shit out of your body. This man's not doing that stuff. Okay? He's sitting on his ass, like I am, talking to a fucking webcam, like I am. And he's not even doing the shit that he got famous for, which was covering cases. No, he's going off on rants about fucking kiwi farmers. He's getting drunk on stream. He's living such an ideal life, and he's so blind to the fact. The same as this motherfucker here. Ethan Van Scriver? This motherfucker's... He draws. How mentally taxing and physically taxing is that shit? Oh, man. Who cares? I don't really give a shit as far as like what Nick wants to do with his fucking life. He could do whatever. Really? He could do whatever. He's a fucking adult. But he's a fucking adult in charge of 5 kids. Same with Kayla. That should be their first responsibility. If other people with way harder lives, with way harder jobs, way harder situations can do it, why the fuck can't he?
Business. That's okay. The drugs, the hard drugs, allegedly, that were found there, that's where I have a problem. But I knew there was something going on just by his physical appearance. I knew there was something going on with him. I want him to get clean. These people want to punish him. The people who hate him want to punish him by having his kids taken away. They want his life utterly destroyed in front of them for their own entertainment. And once you realize that, and you realize who these people are, it's people like Yellow Flash, it's people in that sector, you can just feel free to say, go fuck yourself, and decide to root for Nick Feel free to do that. And that's what I'm doing. And they pay lip service to the like, we're hoping Nick gets better. No, they're not. No, they're not. They want to see Nick in prison for 25 years. They want his kids taken away from him and placed in protective custody somewhere, and you know, with foster families. They want to see him destroyed. Why? Because he got too big on the internet, and they thought he was.
And again, I'm just gonna say this just for the fucking why the fuck not at this point. Nick's life, even if he had to stop streaming, say he was legally barred from streaming, which is audacious given what he's doing. I mean, it's not like he's threatened to do things to like the president or some shit, okay? He's not Daniel Larson in that respect. But even if he sat there and did all that stuff and he was barred from the internet, he doesn't have to work. He doesn't. He's not like us. He doesn't have to do that shit. He has a nice little cushy trust fund. He has a house that's totally paid for. His cars are probably pretty much paid for. He might have taken loans for him. It might be on lease. Who the fuck knows? I don't really give a shit. But let's just say that the things that he needs for security are already taken care of. He may not have even had to take from the trust to buy the house. It may have been a property within the trust. We don't know. At least I don't fucking know. So I'm assuming that he even had to take the step to take money out of the trust to get the house. But I'm certain that he is not like us. He doesn't have to deal with shit. Do I want his kid taken away? No. I don't think anybody deserves that. But he should be a responsible fucking adult. It's not a big request. It's not a big reach. It's not the crazy shit that this man's telling you right now.
He was too cocky and too arrogant, and he told the right people to fuck off, and therefore they want to see him destroyed. And once you realize that, you can kind of decide for yourself like where what you want to see happen. I'm Team Nick, but I'm gonna make fun of him anyway. You know, I'm still gonna make fun of this situation.
Why not? You're getting money,
but
right?
no,
Ethan?
I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, you should have his kids taken away.
Notice Ethan didn't turn off donuts for this.
You know, fuck you guys. This is real life, man. And let me tell you something. The kids don't want to go away. That's the thing that these retards don't understand. Families want to stick together. They really do. Even in the worst case scenario, like they want mommy and dad. They want to be with their mom and dad. They do. They don't want to be taken away. I promise you, unless they're being burned with cigarettes and things like that, really terrible abusive situations, they mostly want to stay at home. So the internet rooting for that family to fall apart, Nina, you're exactly right to just say go fuck yourself to all of these folks and just root for Nick Rakietas.
So by the logic of most people want to see the kids taken away. Again, I could sit here and say confidently, I don't. I fucking do not. I absolutely do not. I don't want to see the kids get taken. That's going to fuck those kids up more. Like they're already through a situation where they're going to have to deal with daddy being a public figure, daddy getting drunk every night on the internet, and daddy getting a fucking house raid where drugs. Like, it's already enough. Honestly. Like, I don't think the kids need to get taken away. But like this just because people think the kids need to get taken away, we should be Team Nick is beyond stupid.
And root for his kids. And by the way, I would just tell the kids, like, hey, to the extent that, like, you know, you're going to make it even tougher for this scenario to happen, go ahead and make yourselves a sandwich. Go ahead and do your own laundry, understanding that this situation is what it is, okay? You have to. You can't just be like, look at that. People are looking at you now. You got to actually put up a front that, like, you guys are going to take care of yourselves. You'll feed yourselves. Most families do that anyway. Mommy and daddy are going to be in trouble for a little while. Hopefully everything turns out well.
To say I understand that Nick's kids may actually end up okay, guys, like, no, it doesn't mean that I like the fact that he neglected them. That's bullshit.
We don't know anything. This is the other thing.
You know how they
we don't truly know anything. We don't know the truth. We don't have any more evidence other than some shit that got spilled out onto the internet. We just don't know. You know, wait for more evidence to come in before you start saying neglect.
Fucking.
I really think this is the kind of guy that would say, look, I was there while this murder occurred, but I blinked when he actually did the stabbing, so I can't actually say that he did the murder. Even though he was there, he had the bloody knife in his hand, and the guy's dead in front of him. I blinked. So did he actually do it? I mean, that's the kind of shit we're like being pedantic about here, and like being like throwing hyperboles out for. Like, this utterly stupid. But I'm beyond this guy. We're not gonna do anymore. We're done with this thing, finally. Nick had a local stream. And instead of forcing you to watch this in some fucking like 3-inch window, watch this. I'm smart. So it looks like I'm still not smart, right? Let's go to browser window. And boom. Look at that. It's not like I'm a professional nearly. But now we get to watch this. So this is Nick's very recent. This was, I'll give you a date. This was on, oh no. Can't scroll, let's see the date. I believe this was last night. So this would have been the evening of 6/7. June 7th.
I assume.
Holy hell. Holy hell. Okay. Okay. We are going to go way the fuck down. We're going to do this. Holy shit. Okay, this was June 6th. That's when it was. God damn it, Nick. You didn't have to deep throat the goddamn mic. I'm going to pray this is okay.
You can hear me. If you can't hear me, let me know. Because, whoo, I have no idea. I'm in my
Christ, that was so loud I changed religions. Oh, this is only a teaser. It's only a 30-second teaser.
sunroom. But I'm not down in my office right now. My office is I'm doing some redecorating down there. The people.
Okay. Let's do this. Let's see if we can get this full fucking stream. With your Rumble. Yeah. Proof. Okay. Waiting for it. All right. Bear with me. I am going to do something here. I thought that was full stream. I didn't pay attention to it. So we have two options. We can watch just a couple clips through Alyssa Clips, or we can watch the full stream. Let's see what Alyssa has. Let's see. Oh, okay. We got a good amount. I think we got a majority of the stream here. So these are going to be like short little clips of things. And it's probably going to be out of order. All right, let's see what we get with these clips.
Oh, I was out cleaning my hot tub today.
Holy shit, his audio is so trash in this.
Which is cool. I'll probably bring back some hot tub streaming at some point here. But it had to get its spring.
Okay. I'm just kind of checking audio. What happens if we go full?
/ summer cleaning in, which is a full one. You got to replace all the water and everything because it starts to get just a little bit.
God, this audio is fucking trash, but we're gonna muscle through it. Oh. pertaining to mental disorders and how it could look outwardly. Yeah, true. Oh, fuck. That fucking audio scared the shit out of me. I'm going to try and see. Let me do this. While I'm on stream, I'm going to stay on stream. I'll open new window and wait forever for it to do what I want. All right. No, shut up, Jim. Not now. I hate that it immediately jumps into some of these. I'm going to throw on some 80s. Yeah, it's a little loud. All right. We'll throw on some 80s synth music just because. All right, I'm just gonna let this play for a second while I try and figure something out with this stream real quick. I'll be watching chat. Almost there. Okay, I think we're in. Sorry, just small time delay. I wanted to kill time because I'd rather not go through a million Alyssa clip stuff, but let me check audio here. Beware, might blast.
Hey guys. Can hear me, let me know.
Oh god. We're gonna put this at like 50%. Oh. Oh, we only get another fucking... Okay. I have to support this fucker? I don't know if I'm committed enough to support Rakieta. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go with list clips. Sorry about that. I know that was a lot of like dancing around for nothing. Oh, okay. We're back to this. Sorry. I'm just not gonna give this fucking dude money. Not with all the shit going on. Not when I need the money, but way more. Which, by the way, there's a link somewhere in the fucking stream. If you did want to donate through Stream Elements, you are more than welcome to. Like Thing says, I will read out the donation as long as it doesn't get me banned or killed.
Oh, I was out cleaning my hot tub.
Oh my god, his audio is so trash. I'm gonna put... Okay. Hopefully we can do this. I'm gonna put this at 50%, but we'll keep subtitles on these, okay? And then I don't know if I'm going to be able to just next it. Nope. Man. Okay. I got an idea. We might go back to synthwave for just a minute. Boop, boop, boop. History. Boom. We'll go back to playing this. As you can see, I saw a couple of these pop up. We're almost done. We only got 2 rows left. I don't think I'm going to be able to get this done before the music drops in. Again. All right. Sorry about that, but at least you guys got to see what I was doing that time. I was told Streamlabs is PayPal. What's Stream Elements? Because I've figured out to buy Google cards to throw shekels on YouTube. Stream Elements should just be the same as Streamlabs, to be honest. So I know that several people actually, I heard them using Stream Elements over Streamlabs, and it's basically the same thing. I've used Stream Elements a couple times for different donations. I believe you can do PayPal card, Google Pay, even all sorts of shit. Woo, shill time. Many places I've never made an account on. Yeah, no, I don't blame you. Yeah, I forget you can do different things. What can you do with Stream Elements? Screw it. I'll bring it up on stream. Oh no, I won't bring it up on stream in case it goes to my thing. Elements. I just totally freaked myself out because I forgot the same song is playing on my TV, and I was like, oh my god, I left the song playing somewhere. Oh, YouTube. Boom. Sorry, you saw me freak out for a second there. No, I think that's to me. Because there's this thing. This is below. I need to do like Ko-Fi or something that's easier. Okay. Show more. So here's what it says for the payment methods. You could use this se.pay thing. Then there's the PayPal. You could do cards. So I would imagine like if you had a gift card, it would even work. Yeah, because I've done it with now recording. Um, and then this PaySafe card, which I don't know what the fuck a PaySafe card is. And then here's what it says here. Let's see. This is for the .pay options. Oh my god, the pop-ups. Can you give me like a list? This is what it should look like on your end. If anybody ever decided to do this, but it's a good question because I'm kind of curious myself. You know, I've used that's just for the se.pay. I don't know. If you wanted to check it out, I know that it's also in the it's in my link tree. If you wanted to check it out, Belinda, do not feel obligated to donate. I was just saying that to just promote. But yeah, you asked a good question there because I didn't know what methods are available. I know it's all the same methods that are available with Streamlabs. The only thing is that I think eventually I'm looking at moving to Ko-Fi or something with it because apparently like they charge you guys less fees, they charge me less fees and shit. So you know everybody's got to make fucking money off of shit, which I guess makes sense. But you know whatever.
My hot tub.
I'm gonna play this trash fucking playlist of Nick Rakietas. That's gonna sound like he's talking from the underside of his fucking armpit. We'll see what he says here.
Oh, I was out cleaning my hot tub today, which is cool. I'll probably bring back some hot tub streaming at some point here.
By the way, can we just speak to the fact that this guy's, I think, roughly around 6'2", okay? So let's just say he's working off of probably what, a 48-inch TV or so, at least, judging by the reflection. Like, I'm looking over here. So, given I don't know how far away from whatever he is, it looks like it's a fairly big fucking monitor, even here on this window. You can see, like, it's a fairly large screen. Nikki looks good. He does actually look healthy for once.
But it had to get its spring/summer cleaning in, which is a full one. You got to replace all the water and everything because it starts to get just a little bit fuzzy. I don't know if you've ever had like a hot tub.
He does look like an
pool or
upstanding member
whatever.
of society.
Like you can purify the water over and over and over, but eventually it just starts to feel chemically. He's like, oh, no matter how much chlorine I put in here, it doesn't get out all the semen. And so you have to just like, that's a joke.
Oh my god, he's so fucking god awful at stand up.
Chlorine I put in here, it doesn't get out all the semen. And so you have to just like, that's a joke. Jeez, it definitely gets it all out. But you have to just replace the water from time to time because it starts to get awkward. It just doesn't feel like good water.
You know what? That's actually a cool idea, Belinda. I think that's kind of a cool concept. You could even do it if you could do that anonymously, or you know, like the option of anonymity would be cool with that. That's a cool idea.
Because ew, all the sex in there gross. Guys, I don't have sex in a hot tub. I have a heat allergy. Do you understand what that would do to me? I can barely be in a hot tub, especially in the summertime. I can barely be in a hot tub more than about 20 minutes. I'm not fucking anything in a fucking hot tub. I will die. It will be the worst. Oh my God. First of all, sex and.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I had to know what the fuck a heat allergy was. So it talks about heat rash. Oh, that's what he's meaning. heat rash, sweat rash, prickly heat, skin disease, causes small itchy red rash, is trapped due to sweat glands, condition that causes small itchy red hives surrounded by red patches of skin where someone's exposed to heat or sweats, become triggered by exercise, stress, hot temperatures, spicy foods, or bathing in hot water. Okay, I'm guessing this is what he's got. This calorenic urticaria. Oh, what? It's too fucking late for me to fucking read that correctly. Weird.
Water sucks. Sex in a hot tub, particularly for me, no thanks. Yuck. Tweb15 says, Barnes has your back going nuclear on LawTube. I'll say this about LawTube. I've said this a bunch of times. This isn't new. Any sort of like tube community, Comicsgate went through this, fucking IBS, Internet Blood Sports community went through this. All these communities go through this. When you just associate everybody's LawTube, like you don't get to filter out who's retarded.
No, I think some of your ideas around the subject are actually kind of cool and interesting, Belinda. I really like them. And it's got me thinking about it now.
Or who sucks, or who's a piece of shit. They just are there. So it's like, oh, there's a lawyer who's streaming. That must be LawTube or whatever. And there's no way to like keep them out. No, you can't join the club. Who fucking cares? That's why I always said, I don't want to be in LawTube. People ask me legitimately, this is a long time ago, like after Rittenhouse, to create the LawTube entity, whatever that would be, like get people together as a business venture with like stream splitting and revenue sharing and all this stuff. And I was like, that sounds like killing yourself slowly. And I don't want to do that. If I'm going to do it, it should be quick. Not that. Can you imagine trying to run the accounting on like all these ways? Well, I streamed 13.2 hours that day. It's like, oh my God. They'd be doing it intense and billing you. Ugh. No. Xander's Rants.
I mean, you could take into a lot of accounting processes like sex humor is so cringe. It's the cringiest I've heard online ever. Yeah, very true, Al. Very true.
It says, how is Jim doing? Like, what do you mean? The Jim that I blamed? That was my favorite headline, I have to say, is like about that stream is like mysterious blames unidentified man named Jim. The Fox 9 fucking article that said, I blamed an unidentified man named Jim. I was like, oh, that's so fucking funny. God, I wish this was happening to someone else just so I can make fun of that. God, that's great. Casey says, back to trial streams. Yes. One of the big changes I'm looking at making is tooling the show much more towards a daytime schedule. I've been talking about this for a while.
Makes sense. That way you can sleep like a normal human.
And suddenly, I've got an opportunity to do just that. I actually wanted to get into the Karen Reed case and get into it this week. And then the state kept.
Okay. That makes me like, I'm just gonna, hopefully you guys get what I'm getting annoyed at here.
Casey says, back to trial streams. Yes. One of the big changes I'm looking at making is tooling the show much more towards a daytime schedule.
Great.
I've been talking about this for a while, and suddenly I've got an opportunity to do just that.
Asshole. Why do I say that? Well, because the fucking guy is sitting there basically saying that because of this situation where his kids got taken away to live with the grandparents or whatever, because of his fuck ups, oh, now he has time to do all this. Okay, let's not take away from the fact that like this guy had fucking time to do this before. It's not like he's working a full-time job. He was streaming from 11 at night till 3, 4 in the morning, at least. I shouldn't say at least. Let's go with an hour, so say 1 in the morning at the very minimum. That's saying he did an hour on his local thing, which he's been semi-consistent with, and an hour stream, which is the least I've seen him stream on the Rumble stuff and everything else. He's gone for more than that, okay? But let's say at the least 2 hours. And this guy's talking about like he didn't have time, like he was doing all this other stuff. Like, yeah, I get it. Yeah, you were running around doing all the stuff with driving kids to all these other things, and great. But like, are you telling me that Kayla, you know, your spouse, stay-at-home mother, the person who is very technically unemployed, could not assist with any of this?
I actually want.
And in your statements, you said actually that it's the grandparents that are taking these kids all over. So unless you're going to change that statement. So again, what was your time occupied with? You said that you're not a practicing attorney. So it's not like you're doing law. And you could say, okay, maybe the legal case, but the legal case is like spurts at a time. And from what I've seen so far, a lot of it is like appealing this decision, appealing that decision. He doesn't need to be in court for that. Fuck, I don't even know if the lawyers are in court for that. You basically apply that stuff to the judge, and it gets reviewed, and you get a reply back. Like, this is not even something that really is taking place in court necessarily.
Wanted to get into the Karen Reed case and get into it this week. And then the state kept telling me places I needed to be and things I needed to do, right in the middle of the fucking day, every day this week. So that hasn't happened yet, but I'm working on that. And that shit really.
And are you really going to sit there and blame the state for telling you where to go and where to be because of your decisions? Bro, these were your decisions that led to this shit. This is not, somebody didn't twist your arm and say, Nick, go buy the cocaine. Like, you did all the events that led up to this. You know, it's really funny, Nick. In all the time that you've been a law tuber, the police have not shown up to your house before. You yourself have gone on record saying, I don't have a criminal history. I don't have any other history to worry about with this stuff, other than maybe some tickets, like speeding tickets. Like, you were otherwise an upstanding citizen. The police were not looking your way. You even had like a very supportive audience that wanted to see you succeed. You didn't even fulfill your promises to this group of people, your locals. Remember? You know how you promised, like, when you hit, 5,000 people? Like, that you were going to do some giveaway with special gifts for that select, like, initial group and everything else? You never even succeeded in doing that. I blame the ceiling cats. You know what? I bet you that's what it is. He sat in his basement all day throwing food up to the fucking ceiling cats. And, you know, gravity just being gravity and doing what it's going to do just made his job so much harder. So he was just doing this for hours on end until the cats were full and went away.
Should tame down at some point. But, when there's hoops, you jump through them. Like Glengarry says, go back to your roots. Man, trial streams aren't my roots. I don't know where people got the idea that they're like, oh, trial streams are his roots and trial streams are where he grew.
Because that's where you gained your popularity. That is what made you popular. You covered the Rittenhouse stream. You covered the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp case. Like, oh. How can you be a lawyer and be this dumb? Like, your roots doesn't mean your origin. Your origin and your roots can be different. My origin's in New Jersey. I got roots in upstate New York. That doesn't mean shit. I now got roots in Iowa. Like, can be totally different. Do you not grasp this?
So much like I did grow quite a bit during trial streams.
Too. Oh my god!
But the major growth portions on my channel were not always trial stream related, and some of the biggest like growth based on percentages was not done during trial streams at all. Like they hadn't been invented yet by me by accident. Like that hadn't happened. Like the Vic Mignogna case was huge in bringing people and eyes to the channel. Well,
So you're saying a trial was huge in bringing people to your channel?
the Dick Masterson case as well. In some ways, the Google case.
Again, trial.
Poppy. Like these, there were like moments where
Salt Poppy, was that a legal case, or is he talking about the fight?
growth happened. A big boost was the fucking political coverage in the 2020 election. Like there's all sorts of ways. Going back to my roots goes.
You were already established at that point, but you were also doing other legal shit too. Like, this guy cannot be this fucking dense.
Well before Rittenhouse and well before trial streams. I like trial streams. I want to get back to doing them.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna fucking. So I think it was even. It may have been the Ice Bucket Challenge, but I thought it was in his depth stuff that I heard he netted in one stream alone. He netted some absurd amount throughout the duration of the trial. Playboard pegs Rakieta's total super chat donations at $193,137. Rakieta told Insider that his super chat earnings for the period amounted to $135,279 before federal and state income taxes. Holy fuck. Holy shit. He didn't get big on trials though.
Like there's all sorts of ways. Going back to my roots goes well before Rittenhouse and well before trial streams. I like trial streams. I want to get back to doing them. What I don't want to do is start a trial stream at 8 in the morning and then at 9:45 have to go and come back at like noon and be in the middle of the fucking stream and then have to go somewhere else at 2 or whatever. But yeah,
that's where you could be a day behind, Nick, and still make good money. You could be a day behind. I know this is gonna sound weird. This is coming from a peon. I mean, who the fuck am I, right? You could be a day behind, sit there, record the trial, or even take, the highlights from the case and everything, and basically do a highlight stream and sit there and say, hey, here's this stuff, and then cover the case even partially for the rest of the day. Like, or cover multiple trials, and you could just do multiple highlights. Christ, look at Law Talk with Mike. My wife loves this fucking channel, okay? This guy doesn't cover a single trial. This guy right here, okay? This guy. He's out of Chicago, roughly the same area. All this guy does is like civil arraignments, fucking traffic court, shit like that. And he's getting fucking hundreds of thousands of views off of just that. And this is shit that's information that's years old in some cases. This is 2023, 2022, 2021. These are not recent streams or like even recent court cases. These are court cases that you would think nobody would even give a shit about. My wife's probably watched all of these. She's subscribed to this guy and has sent donations in and everything when he does do live streams. Like, all this guy does is just like regular generic court shit. And it's just videos sent to him. And he goes over them. And he's making views. He's making money. And I'm sure, let's see, 3 weeks ago, in one day, 26,000 views. 2 days, 18,000 views. 4 days, 38,000 views. 87,000 views. Like, he gets views on that shit. And then let's go to his live streams. Check out what he does on his live streams. 37,000, 47,000, 25,000, 58,000. And this is in a week. And like I said, He's covering bullshit. Just generic cases. You're telling me you can't do the same thing with a trial case? Get the fuck over yourself, Nick. Fuck you.
This whole like, I know people mean well with it, and I like trial streams. From a content perspective, they're really easy to do. You don't need to do a.
Yeah, because you sit there and you just let the trial play. Fuck, you probably could leave for several hours and just let it play on your channel. It's not like you're giving extraordinary content during this whole fucking thing. You could sit there and team up with a panel of lawyers. I know, novel idea. It's not like you've ever done this before on the Amber Heard or Kyle Rittenhouse fucking trials. And you could even tag team and switch off and have one lawyer cover while you're gone. Be like, hey, I'm going to be gone. Could you, come in? We'll do a split or whatever on tips earned during this time. You could just have them. Who cares?
Shitload of research. You actually don't need to do much at all. You're going to turn on a thing and watch it and comment along with existing opinions and knowledge. And sure, you can start to sprinkle in knowledge about a particular fact set around the case or whatever. You can start adding things in as a content creator, I guess. But the secret that the law tube or whatever community doesn't want to say out loud is like, trial streams are fucking easy, except for the amount of like time that they take. But yeah, man, you just sit there and like make fun of stuff. That's great. But they're also really good content. Don't get me wrong. And I like doing them. Been looking for an opportunity to get back to them, but
I want to check something too. Monday through Friday. I'm going to keep breaking this shit down. I'm going to take your post YouTube cut. $3,000 a day, $15,000 a week, $90,000 net after taxes. He just wants to talk extemporaneously over a live courtroom feed and not do anything requiring editing or any. No, he doesn't want to do anything creative, but God, he can't bring himself to do this shit. I just think he's so full of it. He's so goddamn full of it. You know how many people would kill to make that much in a week? Make what he makes in a week net. Even with the super chat, 30% taken out. 15,000 in a week?
For many reasons that predate my recent legal issues, it's taken a bit. Dusklight says, will you go back on the road circuit when you can? I would love to. My whole, I wasn't lying when I said, my life got fucking condensed and crunched, and the stress of life and my inability to even have fucking time to do the streaming schedule that I wanted was all real. And that hasn't really changed. It was supposed to lighten up as the school year wound down. Now I have currently some new obligations to deal with, but hopefully that'll loosen up a little bit, and timelines will be.
He acts like this is some imposed thing that was beyond, that was superimposed. Jesus Christ, that was imposed upon him against his will. I mean, yeah, it was against his will, but his will is what led to these charges being imposed upon him. He had the free will to then go to Minneapolis or St. Cloud or whatever the fuck he went to acquire the drugs that got him into trouble. Hey, maybe you should have been at home, Nick, sitting on your ass, making easy money, doing trial streams.
Become more predictable, because like I said, the show is going to. I'm not abandoning nighttime streams, by the way.
Oh, thank God. More
not all streams will be at night. and there's going to be a much bigger daytime presence, and then hopefully more flexibility on trial streams and shit like that. But along with that, going back on the road circuit, right now I have more pressing issues than, going out to places. It already pissed people off when I would go out and like meet people in public, but like the people who weren't there would get annoyed. Right now, that's.
I mean, technically, he's also not restrained. Okay, something that we did not go over that I've learned that there was additional stuff to this, so it might be best that we didn't necessarily go over this. But remember going back to his bond and his bond stipulations, where it said that he had to pay either $50,000 or abide by all this shit. Well, I don't know why. Oh, void if. So it's a void if 30 days. So on May 30th, he ended up going and getting a bail bond for him and for Kayla. Basically saying as long as he shows up to trial, he'll get minus 10%, $45,000 back that he'll then pay back to the bail bond. And he'll be out roughly $10,000 between him and Kayla. But, he's not restrained by the parameters of his bond parameters here. And this is the lovely thing about having all these documents. Close. Let's actually open new tab because it's just easier to view this way. See, this is where he said that he does have to appear and all that, and he has to do either pay a $50,000 bond, which he's now done, which voids him of all these other restraints. He doesn't have to, let's see. He doesn't have to give up his weapons. He doesn't have to go through the whole parole thing. He doesn't have to remain within the state. Technically, because he paid this money, he can do whatever. He could have had a drink on stream, which I think he may actually end up doing.
It's kind of way on the back burner, but I love going out and meeting people. I love going and doing live shows and hanging out with friends on the internet, as like Camelot and Dick and stuff like that. But I also love just like meeting you guys at stuff, and I would love to do some meetups. We may be able to do some Minnesota ones here pretty soon, pretty soon, whenever that is. At some point, maybe able to do Minnesota ones, but going further out than that, right now, I'm going to have to be around here a lot. I want to be very clear, like I'm not on restriction. I can technically leave the state. I just have to make all court appearances. It's just, I have shit that I have to do here as well in relation to my case, as well as in relation to life. So we'll see. As soon as I can go and like be out and meet people and do events, I'm doing them. Absolutely. Doc F1 says, does Aaron still have visitation with Kayla? I don't know. I haven't checked with the county. But any comment on what Aaron said, not the legal parts. Like I said, all of this stuff will probably be addressed in time, but the best I can say and the simplest I can say is that the true story lies somewhere divergent from pretty much any orated story. As for Aaron, he'll say what he says. People can assess him for who he is without my input. I hope he makes $1 million. Faust IXV says, why would you let another man come in your wife? Why would you let another man come in your wife? That's a philosophical question. I am looking to return to Rumble and YouTube very soon. God. Maybe tomorrow, if my studio's ready. I have a bunch of great topics to discuss. It may not be till Saturday. It really depends. I'm trying to find the right time, give people enough of a heads up.
I'm kind of curious.
I have a feeling the comeback. It's not the comeback stream, please. Like, oh, fucking don't call it a comeback. It's literally not intended to be that. I'm going to be streaming kind of as per normal, especially on Rumble and YouTube for some time. We're going to get into more of a normal show rhythm. I'm not going to sit here and run a Rakieta drama tour.
I also just went and looked, and he has not streamed as of yet. As far as like YouTube, I didn't check his Rumble, but
It's been done by a lot of people, and they can do that. No one's ever tried to stop anyone. That's another fun one. When you keep finding out that you were trying to stop people from doing stuff, and you're like, holy fuck, I don't even know who that retard is. Like, if there's anybody out there who says, oh yeah, Nick tried to stop me from doing this, or Nick said this, or Nick asked me to do this, or delete that, or remove that, that has never been true, except for one time when I politely asked someone to take one thing down. And I said, I'm not going to be a dick about it. I'm not going to DMCA it or anything like that. But if you just please take this one thing down, I'd appreciate it. A couple other times I asked on behalf of other people, like, hey, that's a thing that might cause someone some hurt that wasn't intended.
oh yeah, probably. I mean, a Nick Rakietas IRL streaming arc would be wild. Maybe you can meet up with Andy Dick. Oh my god. Oh my god, could you imagine him giving the legal advice to the fucking IRL streamers like Gucci's and fucking oh my god, Bjorn and all that? Oh my god. Johnny Somali having to go to different countries just to represent Johnny Somali. Oh god. Do you think the bad mic is to cover up his Coke voice that Andy described? Yeah, I mean, it very well could be. I don't know. I don't know why the fuck else you would have gain turned up that goddamn high, because I believe that's what it is. He's just got his gain boosted through the goddamn roof. I'm sure he's over like the screaming migraines, but he probably still has a fucking migraine at this point.
I would appreciate it if you like.
And I mean, if we're gonna be fair, with the amount of stuff that he did, his septum's gonna be fucked. His throat's gonna be fucked for a long fucking time. Mandy Nick.
You could consider taking it down. I've never threatened anybody or told anybody that they had to take something down or been a bitch about it. And if people left it up, like, that's up to them. I don't like, there's no like, anybody who says any of that shit. Okay.
God, I'm pretty sure we could hear a goddamn mouse queef at this point with the way he's got his gain turned up.
I guess. Everybody's like, don't represent yourself. Like, I know. You said you're going to represent yourself. No. I said at the arraignment, which, by the way, I said at the arraignment that I was representing myself for this arraignment because it's just an arraignment. I knew the score. I actually knew pretty much exactly what my bail was going to be based on other bail set and possession cases in this county, especially ones that involve guns. Like, if I had to guess what bail would be, I would have guessed $60,000 to $75,000 because I'm a pessimist. They said it at 50. I still think that's too high. I still think $50,000 to show that you're like not, that you're actually not even show, to enjoy the not being guilty part of not guilty until proven so, right? Like, I do think that $50,000 is a little onerous, but the way bonding works, it doesn't end up being that much. We won't get into it too much about that. Those of you who know how bonding works will know. We can talk about it some other time. It's not why we're here. There was a weird thing where everybody thought that I posted bond for unconditional release, but Lady Rakietas didn't, or that I didn't post it for.
I will stick up for him on this. It was a clerical error, and even was noted on the farms that it was a clerical error, that it was just something that where he did the same thing on the same day for Kayla. For whatever reason, it didn't show up till days after, but all the dates and everything were even the same.
So everybody was speculating like there was some rift between us or separation. And at first I was like laughing. I'm like, that's funny. And then all of a sudden I realized, no, the county actually didn't file her unconditional release, and we had to get that taken care of because the county was incompetent in filing that. But no, we posted bond literally at the exact same time, have the 2 receipts for it. But yeah,
wait, wait. Oh fuck! Eric July's stalker got arrested, so EBS lost more
people
support.
like made, and this is the fun of the internet, right? Like that story became Lady Rakieta threw me out of the house, or I threw her out of the house, or I was setting her up to fail or something. And I'm like, the fuck are these people talking about? Holy shit. That was just a county fucking up. Naylor says, what was your reaction to the trolls in the Zoom hearing? You can see my reaction. There was someone who told me to kill myself, and I kind of just went, what do you do? I was mostly laughing because, so I was the first hearing at the arraignment, I believe. And they're like, okay, we're going to clear all the rooms and bring them in. And I started seeing a bunch of fat, ugly people, like with their cameras on, like way, like panned into the, like this number. Like I saw a bunch of those like weirdos. Believe me, if you've been to,
So I'm gonna go with the justification that is definitely a TV. That is a very large TV because he did not take that many steps to get to the camera, and the camera is relatively close to that TV.
there are places you can go to see these people, but you start seeing a bunch of them, and you go, oh no, the court has no idea, the jail has no idea, like they don't know what's about to happen, and I had no idea. Like I was in jail, right? I don't have access to the internet, like it's old school, whatever. So I have no idea, like who knows anything. But once I start seeing those weirdos fucking pop up, bloop, 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 and the judge is like, why are these chimes going all the time? And I'm like, oh, sir, those chimes are going to go for a while. Maybe the court admin could like turn off the notification sound or something, but nah, let's just let it go. And I start seeing a fucking billion people popping in. I was like, okay. And then when someone came on, they like had a giant, like they had a dildo on the screen, just like, I was like, that was kind of funny. And then someone comes on and drops the N-word a couple times. And that's when it was that one, the Nick Rakietas kill yourself. That didn't stop anybody. But the court's like, someone's like, N-word, N-word, N-word. And the court's like, whoa, we got to stop this. And I was like, wait a minute. Like, why do they get special treatment? They're not even here. That was rude.
God, he thinks he's so goddamn funny. Oh, this is so cringe.
But I mean, once I realized that the news is out there, people have found out about it, and they're in the arraignment hearing. It's like, what do? You just sit here and laugh because the court has no idea what they're in for. The jail staff are like, we usually see a decent amount of people in these things. I'm like, oh, you usually do? There's like 9 pages of extra names on Zoom. You have no fucking idea what's going on. Candace Marie says, you talking to the cops is beta, but throwing the warrant down saying it doesn't mean shit was top tier response I hope for. Again, at some point, maybe all of this can be talked about. Right now, you know, I did what I did, and I have and had my reasons. And as far as hold your tits, county attorney, what I'm talking about is I did what I did in regards to the warrant and all that stuff. And all of that, like, obviously you do what you do in the situation that you're in. I'm specifically talking about the day of the execution of the search warrant. Yeah, people will criticize it or people will agree with it. It is what it is. And we'll see. We'll see how everything pans out, I suppose. Cassie Mayron says, great mugshot, locals gift. Yes, the locals gift was my mugshot. You're welcome. I've been planning it for a long time. No, the locals gift is still coming. I've actually,
is it?
Again, resumed talks with a new source for getting that done. It's no one needs to believe me. I say, don't believe me on things I say. Just when I do them, you'll know. People were really concerned about my health. It's amazing what happens when you're not sick and you can eat, but I have been putting the weight back on, and I'm right around my target weight. It's great, which is really cool. Someone says,
Oh my
not sick.
God.
Yeah, that's it.
I thought he was gonna grab a glass of fucking whiskey right then and there and toast to it. Oh God. I'm so traumatized from watching so much Nick.
No, seriously, like it's funny to me. Like this is one of those moments of levity that I can go ahead and share a little bit with you is like events converge that are unrelated, and people like
I don't think I really need to hear about his 100 and whatever degree fever.
have to make your judgments based on character of the person you know. I'm going to be a little harsh in this statement.
Oh, this is the interesting one. Listen to this one.
The amount of bootlicking faggots out there who are like, the government said. All right. And by the way, bootlicking faggots includes a bunch of lawyers who at every other time will tell you, oh, you can't trust the government, you can't trust the narrative. And now they're like, oh man, look what they said. Look what the government said here. And they're like, just.
I haven't heard anybody so far on any of the lawyers, even that are on the detractor side of this, sit there and say, trust the government, trust the government. In fact, I've heard potentially criminal and uncivil law and a couple others, legal mindset and all that, literally sit there and go, A, don't do what Nick did. B, don't talk to the police. Never talk to the police. Don't trust the government. You know, it's not to say that this is above and beyond the law. There is stuff here, like, they're just telling you the totality of stuff is all we're looking at right now, and they're trying to break down a really minute portion of the process and explain it as it oh my God, I can't think of the fucking word, as it regards to Nick Rakietas in this moment. Like, it's a matter of, like, they're just doing what they normally do in some places. In some places, they're just doing a smaller, minute portion of the law that they don't even typically cover just because, hey, it's Nick Rakietas. Hey, people know Nick Rakietas from LawTube. I'm right around my target weight. A 90-pound teenage girl, 120 pounds soaking wet. Nick Rakietas.
So happy about it. You can always find someone's true colors when they have the opportunity to stand by what they say. And they don't.
I don't know if that was a shot at uncivil law or who,
But I digress.
in particular, if anybody in particular.
Why did I have a black eye?
Oh,
I
this.
fell. I fell. No, I legit fell. It was the night of that really bad stream, and I wish I could have blamed it on the liquor, but I actually slipped on a dog toy. Fucking hit my eye on the it hit right here across the countertop in my bathroom. But like, I was torched. If I did not slip on a dog toy, I probably would have otherwise fallen because of drinking. Okay? Like, there's no dodging of that. It was just that fucking stupid. Again, this is the thing where it's like the circumstances play out. If I fell from the liquor, I just tell you. Because I had ingested more than enough liquor to fall and hit my face. Like, that was true.
It's true because it happened. I mean, regardless of the dog toy or not, the dog toy was just the conveyance of it. Like, very true, GG, Nick. I can go a whole month without drinking. Nick, 6 months later.
I did that on stream. Holy shit, guys, I didn't even remember most of that damn stream. as it happened, I was way too intoxicated.
It's funny though. He remembered enough to be able to delete it.
So much liquor, like and you can watch me just pounding it back, right? Like you can see it, or you could see it, or whatever. No bones about that. I wish it would have been I drunkenly stumbled and hit my fucking face on the counter, but it turned out I slipped on a dog toy. It's even gayer. But yeah, so that was my black eye. I looked super cool.
Oh, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. You looked like a Holocaust escapee.
You know, a bunch of people like want funnier stories with all this stuff, and it's like, nah, not like. I wish there were funnier stories. At least then it'd be funnier. Wasn't Ralph tweeting he was supposed to have you on a guest on your first stream back?
I wasn't meaning dog toy in that respect there, Gigi. I was thinking like, you know, like a squeaky bone or something. Oh God, can you imagine if he's meaning dog turd and his mic is that fucking awful, and B, like, could you imagine being that fucked up that you slip in dog shit in your house, which disgusting as that fucking is. Now you've got shit on your fucking foot and you've cracked your fucking face open, supposedly, on the fucking bathroom counter, which doesn't even totally make sense because he didn't have like a split eyebrow or anything, which let me tell you, from being in fights and shit, real fucking easy to split a goddamn eyebrow. And he managed to fall, get a black eye, but not split an eyebrow or nothing.
No. Ralph was tweeting that, and this is true, that I will be doing my first solo interview with Ralph on the Kill stream. That is true. He asked me to lie.
Oh, that's just fucking cruel. If he had a dog trapped in the bathroom for like 20, that's fucking cruel and fucked up. And he should be kind of thankful that he's not getting goddamn animal abuse charges. I mean, who knows? How well fed was the dog?
Lock down a date for that.
Did Nick have 6 children?
I haven't been able to yet. I haven't been sure when I could even do this stream, much less any other streams. But I will be doing my first solo interview back will be on the Kill stream. That's not the first stream I do or anything like that. But yeah, that will be happening at some point. So it's people can say whatever they want about him. That's fine. I don't care. I don't care. There's some personal poeticness to all of it that helped me make that decision. It's good. Amelia Locke says, why? It doesn't matter to anybody else in the world than me. Where's the dog? Is Sunny, our dog? She's in the bathroom. At night, Sunny hangs out in our bathroom. Yeah, that was a weird one. People are like, the dog was taken or something. Like, ATF didn't raid the house. The dog's alive.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
If ATF came... like, okay, yeah, no, but ATF didn't come. It was just the local sheriff, so they didn't shoot the tiny pug. She's still alive. Show us the dog. I can go get her in a minute. I'm happy to. There's so many fucking wild stories out there. I've seen only a fraction of them. Like, obviously, I can't follow all the stuff about me. I don't know how other people do. And I find out stuff from the internet. I'm like, oh, man, that's cool. Or that's not cool. Like, sometimes. Like, oh, my dog's dead. Shit. But no, she's very much alive. I found out that she was dead, and then I also found out that she was alive when I just was like, hey, Sonny, and she started yapping.
Did they migrate to... Okay, so Gigi said the dog wasn't potty trained, and he had a puppy pads all over the floor. Lovely. I mean, he mentioned having 2 cats before. We haven't seen them at all since. He wasn't feeding his kids, but could afford puppy chow. Yeah, right. Well, I thought we understood that the cats had made it to the ceiling. Like the ceiling cats were real then, possibly. Could you imagine that? Those poor cats got so goddamn desperate they clawed through the wall and then made it into the ceiling and were hunting mice in the attic or some shit.
Okay. Here we go. Here's Sonny. Hello, you stupid little retard. Woof, 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 woof. There we go. So this is, pugs are what we call like God's mistake.
But, like you, Nick. Like you.
Because look at it. What are you even sniffing?
The alcohol on your mic. Yeah, it's infused.
That being said,
the ceiling cat is GG.
Yeah.
No, the ceiling cat is God GG.
Dogs are so fucking annoying. And this one, oh god, being around it while it eats, it's like listening to Jabba the Hutt have sex with himself. So fucking.
God, I don't know how much more of this I can take. I'm on 13 of 17. We're almost done, people.
Jesus Christ. Ew, it's gross. All right. I'm going to go put this thing away. Yeah, I know. God. Look at it. It's stupid.
I wonder if he says all those exact things to Kayla when wearing the Baldo. I'm going to go put this thing away. Look at it. It's stupid.
It like... Gross.
This is like just a psychopath feigning to be a real person. Like,
have you guys ever had like have you ever been in a room with like a really obese person? I had a writer's workshop with this big fat guy. Like, not all fat people are like this, but all of them are. This guy was just like a big
here we go
guy.
with Fat Joe.
He just, everything was a noise. Like when he moved, it made sounds like Jello.
Okay,
being,
next video.
I will say this. I said it before. People completely misinterpreted this one as well. The story is something that is not what's
back to your prison cell, pupper.
Being said. How far off in what areas will differ all over the place, and this is going well beyond legal. I don't know, like I was like kind of like trending all over the place. A lot of people have said a lot of really shitty things about me, and particularly me and Lady Rakietas. And I will say this one time. Again, the story and reality diverge in places. But I'll say this this way. People can only make value judgments and assessments based on what they have seen and heard. And what they have seen and heard now will be their value judgment and assessment. And at some point, I'll either get the opportunity to correct that for someone or I won't. And that's life. Especially that's life in any sort of media. You get the opportunity to speak, and people may not always take the opportunity to listen. And if that's what people decide to do and they've made their judgments, then I can't begrudge them for that. Of course, when things are said about you, when allegations or inaccuracies crop up, you want to run out and address them. You want to immediately put up the counter narrative. You want to say, this is wrong, this is a lie, this is bullshit, they know it, blah, 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 blah. And when you're charged criminally, you can't really do that. You just can't. So some of that is going to just have to wait a long time, or maybe a short time. We'll find out. But that being said, it's just It's just how it goes.
You know, if this guy was at all smart, he could sit there and be like, yes, I'm actually going to be live streaming trials. I'm starting with my own. And like he could actually like I'm sorry, I think that'd be kind of funny if this dude actually had a sense of humor about it to some extent as to like give play-by-plays on his own trial as a legal expert and like maybe give like day-to-day like highlights and criticisms and stuff on both sides of the argument and shit. I mean, that probably would not help his case, but it would be funny.
And I don't begrudge anyone their bad judgments, except for people who actually know better. You know, there are people out there who know more of the story. And this is always true in every circumstance, but it's also true in this one. There are people out there who know more of the story than they are letting on, and they are dishonestly speaking about it. And some people, you know, go ahead and, for whatever reason, take up a position, we'll say opposed to someone for a purpose that doesn't make sense in the long or short run to me. But and I know I have to speak cryptically about this because I'm not here to throw people under the bus. I'm not here to like point any guns or anything. Oh God, no, those are gone. No, I'm not here to point anything at anybody. But there are people out there who know things that they're saying are untrue. And there are people out there who know shit about my character and are saying things about my character that aren't true. And the worst of the worst, in my opinion, are the ones who not only know things and know about my character, but they also know their own character. And methinks some of them doth protest too much. And methinks maybe some of them have adopted a position for personal gain, and they'll do
We really have Jar Jar Rakieta.
that. Like, that's fine. Again, I'm not going to call anybody out. I don't need anybody to do anything I don't need anybody to even stop watching or stop.
By the way, we're going to talk about fucking disparaging character. Did we forget that you have the whole Montagraph thing going on at this point for disparaging someone's character?
Listening to anybody, and that's not the point. It's just, I'm sharing with you guys my experiences going through this because this is kind of like this is foreign territory, man. People have to make their judgments based on what they know. Some people are making performative judgments based on the opposite of what they know, and that's okay. Cheers to them. But you learn a lot in this sort of world of fucking social media and talking and networking with people about who actually is actual. And you learn it at different times. Triumphs, you learn a little bit. Crises, you learn a lot. And all you can do is keep going because you can never know ahead of time. You can try and judge people's character. You can try and take advice from other people, of course, but you can never actually know.
I mean, things you shouldn't protest at all.
In enough time to really make a value assessment of someone before you invest in them. Oh God, what a gross word that is. But like, you know, as people become part of your network and you talk to them more and cross promote and all that shit,
oh, geez,
you can't always know how things are going to turn out, and you can't worry about it either. Some very well-meaning friends have reached out to me and have sent me lots of love and support and all that.
Don't care.
I'm removing most of the alcohol references from the show.
What happened here? Wait, did his mic all of a sudden just get fixed? Did he unplug it from his asshole and plug it actually into the computer? What? Did he take his Baldo off the fucking mixer? What happened? All of a sudden it's fucking fine here.
Show. I won't be drinking on the show. at least for
Yeah,
quite a
relatively
while.
fine.
Just because.
What did he say?
Most of the alcohol references from the show, I won't be drinking on the show, at least for quite a while. Just
Wait, so he plans still to drink on the show eventually? Have you learned nothing? Oh my god, he is actually playing up to the fucking definition of insanity thing. And I mean, again, that's coming from Franklin, who by no means was a fucking uh psychologist or anything. He was a fucking politician. But like, he is really playing up to that right now.
because maybe I drank too much on a show. I don't know if you guys know that sometimes I drink too much on a show. So that being said, as part of that, I'm taking down. I really hate doing this specifically. I took down the anniversary gift that Lady Raggets got me. The anniversary gift that Lady Raggets got me was the liquor bottle painting that was behind me, and I'm removing it from the background of the show again, at least temporarily. And instead, I'm putting up my Joker painting behind me because
You're a piece of shit. You're psychotic. You're mentally ill.
Right? Yeah. That's I think you guys will like the Joker painting I have. I really do. It's a great painting. And
With Joker.
I don't know. Sometimes you can be a fan of the world around you. You guys will see it. It'll be up. One of the other major changes I'm doing is I will be standing for the show, even down in my office. We're going to switch to a standing show rather than sitting down. I think that's a big part of doing the show and keeping my energy level up and keeping the show length actually at a reasonable pace rather than going to like 6-7 hours of shows or whatever. Like I have done. I know I haven't done a lot of those recently, but by standing up, you know, it keeps me active and moving. It keeps me in my sort of natural talking element. I don't like talking sitting down. I do it on the show, or did it on the show because I had to. You find out very quickly who is
Ooh.
who has no idea like how criminal trials run, or criminal cases, I should say. And they're even many of them are lawyers. Some of them have trouble like keeping both eyes in a forward direction, like in looking towards the future. Some of them just always keep one eye on the grift. And they limp along in this weird sort of manner, trying to pretend that they have any fucking idea what's going on. They don't. They know so little that it's embarrassing. But you know, that's fine.
Well, at least we know the fucking clear mic was only a short-lived thing.
Fine, because they can pretend to be a lot of things. Like Good with Women, for example. I'm coming after one person and it's so gay. Oh, no. Believe me, I'm not coming after anybody. I made fun of Legal Mindset because he's a retard, but that's his own problem. I literally just made fun of him because he's retarded. He acts like this super Chad ladies man as he looks off to the boys' room with one eye, the girls' room with one eye, and limps between them because he can't decide which one to go to. I'll make fun of him because he's dumb. That being said, I'm not going.
He might be dumb, but he also isn't facing federal drug and gun charges at this point. I will say that much.
Going after anybody else right now, specifically, because I don't need it. And you should still watch him, by the way. Like, no one should stop watching Legal Mindset because I made fun of him. We're all allowed to make fun of each other, right? Like, that's okay. I thought. Is that not okay?
Oh, that was horrific. Oh, God.
I'm removing.
Well, you know what? I'm going to give you the benefit of having that playlist. I don't know if it's a benefit, but you can have that fucking playlist. We played through the whole fucking thing, minus the fucking sissy fit about fucking. What is this? Hold, please. We're gonna play one last video.
Duncan Idaho says, "What did you do to piss off Alyssa Clips?" Don't care. Seems to have some beef with you that is self-sustaining, and I'm out of the loop. No, I don't know. Like, you can never tell what actually pisses someone off. But here's the gist of it. Okay, I talked about this the other day. This is a thing that streamers run into.
If you say something and there's not something imminently clippable in its own context as a standalone thing, you will be clipped with context removed or with words removed to make you look a particular way. Happens all the time. You can't avoid it. You can't get around it. It doesn't matter. So just never worry about what a clip channel or clip person is going to do, because there's nothing you can do to stop them from doing what they're going to do. If you focus on that, it's insane. Like, you're going to drive yourself crazy.
If you are who you are, people will decide all of the parts of you that they can't see. And so then they'll create this construct of who you are from the parts they had to build in there. So some of it will be true and some of it will not. That being said, once you betray a perceived principle, those people will get mad that you have broken their perception. They will, remember, they don't believe their perception is a perception. They believe their perception is reality. Because you're open and honest and you share things and you talk about stuff, and they don't realize that
You know, I'm starting to think that the Joker painting would be a mistake. Riddler may be more appropriate.
that construct can only be partially true.
Scarecrow?
The reasons that you share stuff or that you talk about things is not to help them with their narrative or their opinion of you. It's like, I've talked about a bunch of funny, like, silly stuff that I have done or ended up in, and the reason I talk about it is because in some way, those things help me grow. And so what I do is try and share those experiences with people who may never get them, or, you know, if they end up in them, here's the things to look for. Here's how maybe it can be a positive experience for you.
Oh, he is so gregarious. I didn't realize how gregarious Nick is. Oh, he's just so fortunate in sharing all of his stuff with everybody,
Which that could be negative,
including his wife.
Here's my experience with it. But what do you do? If you talk about your life, people will decide things about your life, whether they're true or not, and they will believe them 100%. They will believe them. There's nothing you can do to undo that. Once you act in a way contrary to what some principle they believe you have, whether you did that action or not, they will then take that as some personal offense, some personal betrayal. They'll say you're spiraling. They will say that you were.
Can I just say this is a lot of conversation for somebody who says they don't know why somebody is pissed off?
Not living up to what you said. It's a hypocrisy. They'll say you're not doing what you preach. You are lying to people. You're dishonest, or you've changed me. You've just changed. You've just changed, and I see what's happening. I see what's happening. You look, man. I see what's happening. I just don't want it to happen. You go, that's not happening, though. That's not a thing that's actually going on. Though. No, man, I see it. I see it going on. You're like, well, that's not a thing. I'm trying to tell you why. And they go, no, you stop lying. You're not lying.
Who's they? Who's any of the people in this conversation? It could be the drugs talking. But I think this is actually pure Nick. Is that he doesn't want to give away any inkling of any information that could then be looked into. So he is going to talk so goddamn vague as to no one be able to make a connection, although this did spring from a question of what made Alyssa Clips pissed at you. And he's now on this, we're what, 3 minutes into this, drop 30 seconds for the clip in between. 3 minutes into this diatribe about this is what made Alyssa mad at me, but it's totally unrelated. I'm just talking about people.
So this is the thing. Once people have built that construct in their head, and then they have some narrative that runs counter to the construct's principles, you have failed them. Now, you may have failed them. I'm sure I failed a ton of people on a ton of things, but really not on stuff that made people actually mad. So,
The fuck kind of statement is that? I realize I failed a ton of people on a ton of things, but not things that made people actually mad. How do you know this?
I got accused of a lot of stuff. Me and Lady Rakietas got accused of a lot of stuff because of some hilarious stuff that we thought was pretty harmless. Other people thought it wasn't so harmless. They took it very seriously. They had different life experiences, fine. But then they turned that into this other thing that went way farther than what we did. And it's like, well, I can't express to you in any way other than what I have that what you think happened didn't happen. What happened is what I talked about.
Wait, what Alyssa thinks happened or what we think happened? Because I'm so fucking lost at this point. I look, I get why he's a lawyer. Yeah, exactly, Belinda. If you feel it fits, that's a you problem. Oh my god. Uh, he's literally arguing in a circle. And he's could have just said, like, I don't know. I've heard things, they're not true. Um, that's as much as I'm willing to comment on this. And move on to the next question. Like, we're now 4 minutes into this diatribe, and I have no better answers than I did 3.5 minutes ago.
Or what we did. Like, it was all publicly in the open. Like, it was fine to us. And some people didn't like it, and that was okay too. That's okay. But the people who took that thing, instead of just not liking it, went, this means, holy shit, this person is this, this, and this. And you're like, no, that's like way too far. It's not at all us.
I mean, okay. So what he's articulating here is that Alyssa Clips, something happened where him and Lady Rakietas did something that he thought and Lady Rakietas thought were okay. But Alyssa did not see it as okay. And Alyssa then, according to his words, oh my god, these typos. No, I got what you meant. It's fine, Melinda. But so then Alyssa did not like this. And so Alyssa then turned it into, oh, you're this and this and that, which is fine again. I mean, if you can say things and you mean them one way. Sorry. If you can say things and you mean them one way, why can't Alyssa say things and have her own intention and meaning behind it and decide what the fuck to do? Like, you literally just went on a several minute rant prior to this about legal mindset and saying some could be construed as disparaging things against him. And who knows if those are true or not. But you still said it with your whole heart on stream, recorded.
Like, no, it is. You're just lying now. It's like, why would I lie about it? Don't lie about any of this stuff. But that's how it goes. And you cannot combat it. They just will not accept the answer because you have betrayed them. So remember, what they perceive you did has portrayed the construct of you that they built. Since you are a liar and a hypocrite, they can't trust you to undo the damage that you've done.
No, why would they?
There's no help there.
If I trusted somebody or viewed somebody in a certain way and they've totally betrayed that trust, why would I then trust them to repair it? That's like trying to walk over a burnt bridge. Like, I mean, you could do it. You're probably not going to be very successful and you're probably going to end up with your ass in the river. But, like, why would I trust a burnt bridge? Literally.
Like, you cannot
and
overcome
figuratively.
like again in January, I didn't drink at all on any streams that I did.
And you made up for it in 4 months to the point that you now have a legal case.
Except for that hot tub stream, because that wasn't mine. But I didn't drink on any streams that I did. I didn't drink before the streams, and I didn't drink after the streams. And people are like, he's drinking constantly. He's drinking. He's
We haven't had some good clip channel hate since Ethan Ralph versus D-Clips. I don't even know that arc, Al. I don't even know that arc. So I've probably seen incidentally from knowing some of the stuff from Ethan Ralph. I've probably come across their clips and just not realized, but yeah, I didn't even know that. I beg to differ. Oh, Bert, I heard cardboard.
he's putting drinks. He's pouring whiskey into his Monster Energy drink, pouring whiskey into a bottle. He's coming on the stream drunk. It's like I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. You can't convince people that stuff. Who was it?
Little did you know that you would prove yourself so wrong so shortly after this. Not sure seeing as they do. They do not sound the same at all. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? I'll chalk it up to me. It's 4 a.m. here. I'll chalk it up to me possibly mispronouncing and missaying things at this point, so it could fall totally in my court, Belinda. You could be totally absolved. I could have said something that sounded like Burt Cardboard or something. I don't know.
Nadi says, I'm so disillusioned right now. I was sure you were swingers or some shit. No, that's the. Nadi says, I'm so disillusioned right now. I was sure you were swingers or some shit. No, that's been funny to me because some people mention that in a not like angry way. And I was like, where is this coming from? I have no idea. No idea. Because I've never, ever even considered anything like that. Also, the internet's like,
and we're supposed to trust this person to rebuild trust after betraying trust on a character. Do I really need to replay what he just said?
You're doing this. Like, holy shit. I am? Okay.
And this clearly happened after Sober January. So this is within the past 4 months.
I don't think so. I feel like I'm not getting the most out of it. And so then but then it's done. Like once that determination has been made, you cannot possibly go against it. You can try. There's nothing you can do though. There's no amount of behavior. There's no amount of discussion or trying to dispel it. There's nothing you can do to go against it. Once someone has decided a thing, here, they'll do it. I mean, I'm talking about, it's not just, this is important. It's not just trolls and hecklers or whatever. Because you see those people and you kind of ignore a lot of that stuff. But then when you see people you've been friends with or like people you've seen around forever, since the beginning of your channel, 5 years or whatever, and they'll ask you something, you're like, no, that didn't happen. Like, that's not a thing. And they'll go, yes, it was. Why would you do that? And you're like, no, seriously, like, look, you've been around forever. Don't have any credibility with you at all.
This at the very least was post hot tub stream and post or somewhere in the middle of Sober January. But from the sounds of it, it had been after Sober January. So this would probably been what, maybe February at the earliest. So yeah, I would say this is in the past 4 months.
I know that's a narrative someone created. I'll tell you the truth. I'll tell you the most degenerate and disgusting parts of the truth, just to let you know that the one step that you think I went to, I didn't do. And it's
and now we've proven that's a lie. So like, again, you're sitting there saying, I betrayed your trust. I'm sorry. But you're not allowing me to rebuild the burnt bridge. And it's like, bro, You're building that burnt bridge out of, wait, Belinda, wet cardboard.
There's nothing you can do about it because they don't want to hear at that point. It's over. They don't trust you. And when you tell them the thing, they're like, you're manipulating me, you're gaslighting me, or whatever. It's like, I mean, I don't know. But okay. You can't do much about it. Again, for a while, I shared quite a bit about my personal life because a lot of people were responding to these things. You know, people like were interested in it. Not everybody, obviously, but it got quite a bit of response. So you talk about it more. Cool. That's fine. Then people didn't like it. You go, oh, okay. Like, that's it.